sun-drenched coastlines. Vast forests of eucalyptus. Rolling grasslands. The animals that thrive in this Australian wilderness are some of the most iconic and deadly on Earth. But a great shift is underway, born of climate change. Wildfires and flooding are hammering the continent. The ancient status quo is being disrupted, allowing new leaders to emerge. Along a small stretch of coastline, the shifting conditions create new opportunities for those bold enough to take them. A chance for animal gladiators to conquer new territory, settle old scores, and fight to survive. Among the coastal grasslands, an Australian icon is on the move. His kind have existed here for 15 million years. Eastern grey kangaroo. A large and muscular marsupial. But this male has fallen on tough times. Last year, a wildfire ripped through his territory, forcing him and his mob to flee and take shelter in this new valley. The dominant male who ruled over the mob didn't make it. He was in charge of maintaining harmony in this highly social group. He kept the other males in check and was the mob's main protector. So now a new leader must rise through the ranks. And Grey has his eye on the top job. But he's not the only one with his sights on the crown. Several other bucks also fancy themselves for the role. Whoever succeeds will carry the safety of the mob on their shoulders. Because their new valley is fraught with danger. Dingoes. The wily gangsters of these coastal grasslands. Fierce carnivores. And one of the few natural enemies of kangaroos. Two of the dingoes break from the pack and move to ambush the kangaroos from the thick scrub. Grey's cat-like hearing senses their approach. It's an opportunity for him to prove his worth and protect the group. Thumping the ground with his hind feet, he signals to the mob to flee. Grey races off, and the mob follows. But the dingoes try to slow them by funneling them up a steep valley. They're looking to pick off a young straggler. Huge tendons in Grey's hind legs work like springs. They absorb energy with each foot strike, then release it with explosive force. He picks a safe route for the mob to follow. Dingoes can reach speeds close to 50 kilometers an hour. But in open terrain, kangaroos can do 65. Grey's clawed feet pound the ground like a jackhammer, guiding the group past the rocky scrub and into the open valley. From here, it's a foot race. The dingoes have no chance. Grey's quick thinking has shown he has the makings of a leader. But his greatest battle is yet to come. As fires and rising temperatures blight the land, the effects are being felt in the waters too. A warming ocean and overfishing have made food harder to find here, making the battle for resources underwater tougher than ever. Even for one of the most efficient hunters. Great white shark. Evolution made his kind such effective predators that they have remained unchanged for millions of years. But the world around him is shifting. With fewer fish in the ocean, the seal colonies he hunts have shrunk. So he's traveled thousands of kilometers through open water to find better hunting grounds. He's come to the right spot. An exposed stretch of rugged coastline. This is home to another elite predator. Fur seal. She was born on this beach 15 years ago. The changing ocean has affected her too. She must swim ever further offshore to reach increasingly depleted fish stocks. The shallows close to shore are fur seal's safe place. But 30 meters out, a steep drop-off gives way to a labyrinth of kelp beds and dark gullies. The best food is beyond here. But so too is great white shark, and he's already on her trail. Fur seal's scent is irresistible. Great white's nose is the most powerful of all sharks. Other exacting senses draw him closer still. Detectors around his nose feel the electromagnetic currents emitted by fur seal's muscles. And as he draws closer still, he zeroes in on the pulsing of her heart. Fur seal is equipped to avoid him. Like a cat, the linings of her large eyes reflect and amplify weak light. Flexible joints between her vertebrae enable her spine to bend back on itself. She beats her powerful front flippers to propel herself away from the shark and rockets to the safety of the shallows. Perhaps this isn't the best time to go fishing, but sooner or later, she'll have to. Up on the rocks, her 3-month-old pup. There's no shortage of dangers up here either. Aggressive breeding males have a careless attitude towards the colony's young. This amped-up bull could easily crush fur seal's pup. She moves to draw his attention away from her vulnerable youngster. The male is over 3 times her weight. But what fur seal lacks in bulk, she makes up for in know-how and bravery. She throws open her jaws to give the male a full show of her curved canines. His thick blubber acts like body armor. But the male has an Achilles heel. Fur seal sinks her canines into his exposed neck. Her painful bite has the desired effect. With her pup watching, fur seal has demonstrated a vital rule. Bigger doesn't always mean better. As the tougher conditions continue to put pressure on this arena, there's a resourceful wanderer in the tree line who has reaped great benefits. This is bull ant. After the fire blazed through here, it left an abundance of dead insects for her colony to dine on. With each day, she's getting stronger, fitter, and bigger. Evolving in Australia's extremes for millions of years, bull ant is a giant of the ant world. A full 4 centimeters long, and she's endowed with an impressive armory. Up front, giant scythe-like mandibles. At the back, a venom-loaded stinger. Most ants have poor vision, but bull ant's huge compound eyes give her superior eyesight. Exceptional for navigating and finding food in all light levels. Her vision rivals that of a dog. She uses her extra-large eyes to scan and memorize landmarks in her environment and spot her next meal from up to 1 meter away. She must tread carefully. There are bigger predators prowling the woodland. Ant's jaws are on a hair trigger. 1,000 fast twitch muscle fibers fire together to clamp her mouth parts tightly around the moth. But the moth fights back. It sheds a cloud of dusty scales to throw bull ant off her stride. She's temporarily blinded, but she rallies and uses her superior strength to get the moth just where she wants it. Then, she triggers her needle-sharp hypodermic stinger to deliver a deadly shot of venom. The moth isn't dead, just paralyzed. Bull ant must drag it back to the colony, where she'll pull it apart and feed it to the larvae. Beyond the tree line, Grey is gaining stature within the mob. But it's a rival buck that makes the first move. The flex is an unmistakable display of dominance. In the searing 40-degree heat, everyone is on edge. Grey must keep his cool. Resting kangaroos can't sweat, so they pant rapidly and lick their arms. Worse still, the extreme temperature has unleashed a wave of pestering flies. The cracks in the mob are beginning to show. They need a new leader to bring calm and security now more than ever. Even the rookies are flexing their muscles. They're not long out of Mum's pouch, but already they're eager to prove their grit to anyone or anything. A kick here, a jab there. Extra points if your opponent runs away. Scuffles like this are just play fights. A way to practice their boxing skills and build their muscles. These joys are still a long way from leader material. But Grey carries the hallmarks of a real mob boss. He's big, with bulging biceps and bags of attitude. He weighs 70 kilograms, half of which is pure muscle, and stands close to 2.5 meters tall. But so does this opponent. Grey emits a low guttural growl, an attempt to state his dominance. The rival retorts with a full body flex, trying to scare Grey into submission. If Grey's to become leader, it's clear he must get physical with this challenger. This won't be a play fight. The fighters go toe-to-toe. Grey, in the left corner, attempts to stare down his competition. But the challenger holds his gaze in a bid to intimidate him. Neither is willing to back down. It's time for Grey to be smart. He pushes the challenger backwards, trying to assert his heavyweight credentials. But he mustn't commit too soon. These dominance battles can last for days. And the challenger's low kicks show that he's game for a fight. As darkness falls, the fighters disengage. But their battle is just getting started. From the safety of dry land, 𝗏𝗏𝗀 has been diligently raising her pup over the first 4 months of its life. Her milk is some of the most nutritious in the entire animal kingdom. But to keep producing it, 𝗏𝗏𝗀 must eat. But the bony fish, squid and octopus she hunts are harder to find and further from shore than ever. To reach them, she must run the gauntlet against great white. On land, 𝗏𝗏𝗀 is ungainly and cumbersome. But in water, she's an athlete. On a single foraging trip, she can travel 200 kilometers from her home base. Her plan is to sneak past great white, feed upon fish and squid, and return safely to her pub. She passes the drop-off. A single breath will last close to 10 minutes. After that, she'll need to break for air. It's when she'll be most exposed. The kelp beds provide ideal cover for great white. His dark upper body blends with the shadowy depths, making him hard to see from above. So, his tactic is to find distracted seals near the surface and ambush them from below. 𝗏𝗏𝗀 stays close to the sea floor. She's memorized foraging routes past every boulder and gully in these kelp beds. It's like a built-in GPS, and it allows her to find a safe path through. She's passed the first hurdle. But to return to her pup, she'll need to slip past the shark a second time. She catches her breath. Now it's time to feed. In the deeper water, she locates a huge shoal. Her thick, wiry whiskers, packed with nerve endings at the base, are highly sensitive to movement, allowing her to home in on a single fish and make millimeter adjustments to make the kill. After an hour of feeding, it's time for her to head back to shore. But Great White is on high alert, and this time he picks up on Fur Seal's approach. He's precision engineered for this scenario. Tiny structures all over his skin work to reduce drag, enabling him to swim fast and silently. To avoid getting caught in the open water, Fur Seal weaves amongst the gullies. Keeping low makes her less exposed to a surprise ambush. But her air supply's dwindling. She must break for the surface soon. From deep below, Great White spots her. As he accelerates, it creates a pressure wave. Fur Seal senses it, weaves in a zigzag, and dodges the shark's jaws by a few centimeters. Great White's muscular body gives him deadly speed, but he's not built for endurance. His failure to kill with his first strike has slashed his chance of success. Fur Seal makes a bolt to the shallows, but she's in a dead end with no place to haul out. The shark has her cornered, so she uses the underwater landscape to her advantage. She keeps close to the rocks. Great White can see her, but he's too big to maneuver this close to the jagged shore. If she can stay out of reach, she'll tire out the shark, and he'll be forced to give up. But she goes one step further. She circles round and swims in Great White's blind spot. Great White is disorientated and losing energy. It gives Fur Seal the chance she needs to make a break through the shallows, along the coast to a safe place to haul out. Great White resets, and in the deeper water, turns his attention to a group of less experienced seals. 4 huge muscles do the work to clamp his jaws shut, as 50 serrated teeth puncture the seal's body. Fur seal is reunited with her pup. Great White may have vanquished one from the colony, but Fur Seal has shown that her kind can best a bigger, stronger foe. And by safely delivering another rich meal to her pup, Fur Seal is helping ensure that her colony continues to grow and thrive along this coast. Back inland, among the dry coastal woodland, Redback's strategy is entering its next stage. She starts to spin silk. Rappelling down, she pulls her thread behind and fixes it in place. Then returns to the roof and attaches the other end of the line. Line after line, she weaves her tangled web. By the time she's done, she's laid 70 tripwires. It's a finely engineered trap. Bull Ant is on another foray to feed her colony's young. Redback's lair is the sort of place a meal could be lurking. Impelled to forage for her colony, she tries to pick her way through the labyrinth of wires. The trap springs like elastic. She's snared. The high tensile lines are tougher than Kevlar and coated in liquid silk that acts as an instant glue, fixing it to the ant's body. The vibrations tell Redback her trap has been sprung. By sheer strength, Bull Ant is able to pull free of some of the lines. But Redback's trap is too extensive. Redback goes on the offensive. Ant tries to grab her with her mandibles. but runs into another sticky snare. She braces against the line with her clawed feet. It's stuck fast. Redback lunges. A chance for Ant to grasp the spider with her jaws. But Redback smothers them with silk. Combing out the thread with her back legs, she binds Ant's mouth parts like a muzzle on a dog. Each new strand wraps Ant's mandibles tighter, neutralizing her primary weapon. But Ant still has her deadly sting. She arches her back, trying to reach the spider. She can inject 6 times as much venom as a bee. If she can get close enough. But she's tiring. Escape is all but impossible. Bull Ant tries to land a fatal sting as her final move. But she's overwhelmed with silk. Only now can Redback move closer to deliver a fatal bite. With 2 pin-sharp fangs, she injects her neurotoxic cocktail. Its effect on Bull Ant's nervous system is almost instant. Slowly, Redback begins to feed. A reward, a vital meal that will keep her going over the coming weeks. And as the southern coast's climate becomes increasingly extreme, Redback's kind will continue to expand their range here. While Redback is tasting victory, Grey is preparing to go another round. The previous night was a chance for Grey's challenger to back down. But today, he's back. And even more fired up for the fight. An all-out battle for dominance is now unavoidable. The prize? To become the undisputed champion. And take the title of mob boss. Grey's opponent makes the first advance. But Grey counter-moves with a burst of flying kicks and a volley of punches. Their muscular forepaws, tipped with sharp claws, are nature's knuckle dusters. If Grey lands one right, he can blind his opponent. But the challenger throws back his head to keep it out of reach. So Grey changes tack. He moves to grapple his opponent and throw him off his feet. His opponent shrugs it off, so Grey steps it up a gear. Using his metre-long tail for support, Grey lashes out with both legs. His double-barreled kicks hit with the force of a heavyweight boxer. Just one of these clawed kicks could disembowel a human. But thickened belly skin enables his opponent to withstand multiple strikes. So Grey picks his moment and delivers a gut-crushing shot. His opponent is left reeling. Grey in the left corner has the upper hand, but he must keep up the pressure. It's now a battle of attrition, a true test of grit. Grey's opponent is winded from the belly shot and tiring. But still, he won't back down. So Grey goes in for a final strike. And this time, it's too much for his rival. Grey has won the title of mob boss. The loser must decide whether to get in line as a lower-ranked male or leave and move elsewhere. The power vacuum has been filled. With Grey now in charge, security and order can return to this group. All along this stretch of wild Australian coastline, brave animals have risked everything. An underdog seal has outwitted its ancient foe. The champion boxer has been crowned. And Redback's patient strategy overwhelmed her quarry. Extreme conditions and hunger will continue to challenge all who live here. But they have proven themselves true survivors, earning the right to live and fight another day in the badlands of wild Australia.